Well, there's not much of a soundtrack on this one, just the humming of the winter tires on the Blazer and road noise. It's kind of a rough old highway here. Ditches are a little black at this point, just west of Westdock. A little bit of a grass fire, I guess, at some point earlier in the spring. Still lots of water showing in the ditches. You'd never believe it, but our water levels are actually lower than they've been for the past few years, but there's still plenty of water to go around. It was a beautiful mix of sun and cloud today. A little bit of a hint of a possibility of rain sometimes, but there was never a spot fell. Getting into some hills here. The title on this video I put up as heading for the hills, and the hills I refer to are the Touchwood Hills. A little bit of rolling up and down land here. Some of it's grain land, some of it's been planted back to grass. You can just see some of the steeper hills starting to show up ahead. We're just coming into the east side of Punachai, Saskatchewan. I don't think that old wooden grain elevator is still in service. Kind of an interesting conversation piece. You don't see many of the old wooden elevators anymore. Ancient thrashing machine parked on the hill. Once you get past Punachai going west, you sort of get out of the hills and back into the semi-rolling farmland. Still some big bodies of water, some of them like small lakes. They actually have islands in them. And I met up with a pretty long CN rail train on the way home. Rail crossing by Quinton. I don't know what those cars are for. Potash, maybe? They're not grain cars, I'm sure of that.
Saskatchewan. It's going to be a warm day throughout the region, with daytime highs around 23 under mainly sunny skies. Then overnight we'll have mainly clear skies and lows between 5 and 9. Tomorrow will be much the same, with sunny skies and highs in the mid-20s, getting as warm as 27 in some southern communities. Overnight Sunday our lows will range from 9 to 13, and we'll have mainly clear skies.
Well, that was a long one. And there's a little bit of field activity starting up. Out there pulling a heavy harrow, raising a bit of dust. The ground is surprisingly dry for the 5th of May. Right about at this point, there was an old combine standing out in the water beside those trees, and it was just about half submerged in water, so it gives a little indication of how the water levels have come up in the past decades. Still got ice floating on the sloughs in some locations. Large bodies of water, there was a lot of ice there. Even though it was 75 degrees Fahrenheit today. It's going to take a while for that ice to melt.